everybody, it's Miss Newman here, ready to talk to you guys about partial quotients. So today we are going to be talking about division, and partial quotients just means that we are going to be using little chunks instead of doing digit by digit division. Okay? So the vocabulary words you need to know are quotient, the answer to a division problem. It's going to be on top of this little house. The divisor, he's the visitor to the house. He's outside the house. Dividend, that's the number you're dividing up. He's inside the house. And if you have a number that's left over, that's going to be your, spelled it wrong, remainder. Okay? So, let's go ahead and get started. Everybody at home should have a graphic organizer like this one on the right. So we're going to use that to help us out. It's incredibly helpful. Please don't lose it. So let's start by writing out our problem on a piece of paper. Okay? 56 is our dividend, and 2 is our divisor. Now, if we go over here to our organizer, we see this first column says divisor, so we're going to put that divisor of 2 all the way down. Okay? Now, I want you to notice that you have color coding. You have 3 green boxes, 2 yellow, and 2 pink. And that's going to help us out a lot because we know that they're all going to be multiples. So I can go ahead and do the first one. 2 times 1 is 2. And I'm going to put a 2 in all of my green boxes. But the difference is I have 1 0 here, so I need to add a 0 there. I have 2 zeros down here, so I add 2 zeros here. Now my chart's already a third of the way done. Let's go ahead and do the yellow. 2 times 2 is 4, so 4 goes in both my yellow boxes. But I see that 20 has a 0, so I'm going to add a 0 as well. Pink box, 2 times 5 is 10, so I'm going to put a 10 in both of my pink boxes. But I see 50 has a 0, so I'm going to put a 0 as well. Here's how you use this in order to help you solve this problem. Your dividend is 56, so you're looking for a number in your chart in the right-hand column that is as close to 56, but not bigger. So I see a 200 is bigger than 56. 100 is bigger than 56, but 40 is not bigger than 56. So we're going to be using 2 times 20 equals 40. So we're going to see that if I go up to the top of that column, it says subtract this number. So that means I need to be subtracting 40 from 56. And if I look in this middle column, it said this number goes outside, and that means outside of our big 7 or our little house. So we're going to put the 20 out there. And now we're just going to simply subtract. 6 take away 0 is 6, and 5 take away 4 is 1. I have 16 left. Okay? Going back to my chart, I see that 20 is too big, but I can use 10. So that means that I have to subtract 10 because it's in the right-hand column that should be subtracted. And I see that I have a 5 that needs to go outside, picking them out of the house. 6 take away 0 is 6, and I have 6 left. So now, I'm just going to use my mental math strategy to figure out how many 2's are in 6. So I'm going to count by 2's. 2, 4, 6. That's 3 numbers. So I need a 3 outside, subtract the 6 that I got, and I have nothing left, no remainder. Now, the way that we find our quotient, our answer, is that we are going to add up all of the numbers on the outside of the house. 20 plus 5 plus 3 gave us a quotient of 28. That means if I have 56 pieces of candy and 2 best friends, each best friend can get 28 pieces of candy. Let's try a harder one. What if we have a 3-digit number, like 428 divided by 3? Don't worry, we have an organizer to help us. I see that 3 is my divisor, he's a visitor outside of the house. So that means our 3 needs to go all the way down our chart. And we're going to use that color coding to help us out. 3 times 1 is 3, so 3 times 10 is 3 with a 0. And 3 times 100 is a 3 with 2 zeros. 3 times 2 gives us 6, so 3 times 20 gives us 60. 3 times 5 is 15, so 3 times 50 is 15 with a 0 on the end, or 150. So now we're going to use this chart to help us answer this problem. I'm looking for the number in the right-hand column that is as close to 428 as possible, but not bigger. So I see that 300 is the biggest product I have, so I'm going to need to use that. 300 is in the column that says subtract its number, so we must be subtracting 300. And I see 100 is in the column that says put this number outside the house. So now let's subtract. 8 take away 0 is 8, and 2 take away 0 is 2, 4 take away 3 is 1. I have 128 left. So now I'm going to go back to my chart and find the number on the right-hand side that is as close, but not bigger than 128. So I see that 150 is too big, but I can use 3 times 20 equals 60. 60 is in the column that says subtract this number, and 20 is in the column that says this number goes outside of the house. So let's subtract. 8 take away 0 is 8, and 12 take away 6 is 6. Now we're left with 68. I see in my organizer that I can do another group of 3 times 20 equals 60, because 60 right here is still smaller than what I have left. So I'm going to, again, subtract 60 and pick 20 out of the house. 8 take away 0 is 8. I only have 8 left over. So I'm looking for the number that's as close to 8 but not bigger. 30 is too big. 15 is too big. But I see I can do 3 times 2, which gives me 6, a number less than 8. 6 is in the column that needs to be subtracted, and 2 needs to be outside of the house. 8 take away 6 is 2. So now I see that my divisor, my divisor, is greater than what I have left. So that must mean I have a remainder of 2. Okay? Remember, the way that we're going to finish this problem up is that we are going to add up all of our little numbers on the outside. So 100 plus 20 plus 20 plus 2 gives me 142, and I have a remainder of 2. Okay? Let's do one more just to make sure everybody has this down pat. Let me get my black pen back out. Let's try one with a 3-digit number and a 2-digit number. 780 divided by 12. Okay? 12 is outside my house, so that means he's my divisor. Goes all the way down. If you have a multiplication chart in front of you, lucky day. Multiplication chart does go all the way up to 12. So let's fill this in. 12 times 1 is 12. That makes this 120, and this 1,200. 12 times 2 is 24. That makes this one 24 with a 0 on, 240. 12 times 5 is 60. So that must make this one 60 with a 0 on the end, or 600. So now we're going to go through, and we're going to find the number in the right-hand column that is as close to 780, but not bigger than 780. I see 1,200, 1,200 is too big, but 600 should be really good. Now that number 600 is in the column that says you need to subtract it, and 50 is in the column that says it needs to go outside of the house. So let's subtract. 0 take away 0 is 0, 8 take away 0 is 8, and 7 take away 6 is 1. Now we're looking for the number in the right-hand column that is as close to 180, but not bigger. So I see 240 is too big, but 120 looks just right. So that means we're subtracting 120, and we are putting 10 outside the house. 0 take away 0 is 0, and 8 take away 2 is 6. So I have 60 left, and lucky for me, that's the next row on my column. So that must mean that we're subtracting 60, and we are kicking 5 out of the house. 60 take away 60 means we have no remainder, and all we need to do to finish up this problem is add the numbers on the outside of the house. 50 plus 10 plus 5 is 65, so 65 is our quotient.